The respiratory muscles that accomplish breathing do not act directly on the lungs to change their volume. Instead, the muscles change the volume of the thoracic cavity, causing a corresponding change in the lung volume, because the thoracic wall and lungs are linked by interpleural fluid's cohesiveness and the transmural pressure gradient. At the onset of inspiration, the respiratory muscles are stimulated to contract, enlarging the thoracic cavity. The major inspiratory muscles include the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscles. Deeper inspiration is achieved by a more forceful contraction of the diaphragm and external intercostal muscles, and by activating the accessory inspiratory muscles to further enlarge the thoracic cavity. This is achieved by raising the sternum and elevating the first two ribs, which enlarges the upper portion of the thoracic cavity. Onset of expiration begins with relaxation of the inspiratory muscles. The diaphragm relaxes and returns to its original dome shape. The external intercostal muscles relax and the rib cage falls with gravity. There are no longer any forces holding the thoracic cavity in an enlarged position. There are accordingly no forces causing expansion of the lungs. The chest wall and stretched lungs recoil to their pre-inspiratory size and position due to their elastic properties. When deeper breaths are required, as during exercise, expiration becomes active to empty the lungs more completely and more rapidly. During forced expiration, the intra-alveolar pressure is increased even further above atmospheric pressure via the activation of the expiratory muscles. When the abdominal muscles contract, the increase in the intra-abdominal pressure exerts an upward force on the diaphragm, which can push it beyond its resting position, decreasing the vertical dimension of the thoracic cavity even more. Contraction of the internal intercostal muscles pull the ribs down and inward, flattening the chest wall and further decreasing the size of the thoracic cavity.